안녕하세요. 오늘은 HORRiD Henry's Christmas Presents Chapter 4 처음에서 Chapter 7 끝까지 읽어요. 예전에 Chapter 1 처음부터 Chapter 3 끝까지 읽는 걸 못 본 사람들은 예전 Part 1으로 가서 봐주세요. 좋아요랑 구독도 많이 눌러주시고 자, 시작할게요. HORRiD Henry's Christmas Presents Chapter 4 The moment he'd been dreaming for weeks had arrived. Henry, I'm not going to ask you again, said Mom. Have you finished wrapping all your Christmas presents? Yes, began Henry. This was not entirely true. Henry had not finished wrapping his Christmas presents. In fact, he hadn't even started. The truth was, Henry had finished wrapping because he had no presents to wrap. This was certainly not his fault. He had bought a new gift, certainly. He knew Peter would love the box of green gray glue slime. And if he didn't, well, he knew who to give it to. And Granny and Grandpa and Mom and Dad and Paul and Polly would have adorned the big boxes of chocolate Henry had won at the school fair. Could he help it if the chocolates had called his name so loudly that he'd been forced to eat them all? And then Granny had been complaining about gaining weight. Surely it would have been very unkind to give her chocolate. And eating chocolate would have just made pimples worse. Henry had done him a big favor eating that box. And it was hardly Henry's fault when he needed extra glue for a raid on the secret club and Peter's presents was the only stuff to hand. He meant to buy replacements. But he had so many things he needed to buy for himself that when he opened his skeleton money bag to get out some cash for Christmas shopping, only 35 points had rolled out. I bought and wrapped all my presents, Mom, said Papa Peter. I've been saving my pocket money for months. What people use, said me. Henry, it's always better to give than to receive, said Peter. Mom being quite right, Peter, said who? Growled Henry. I much rather get presents. Don't be so horrid, Henry, said Ma. Don't be so selfish, Henry, said Dad. Henry stuck out his tongue. Mom and Dad gasped. You horrid boy, said Ma. I just hope Father Christmas didn't see that, said Dad. Henry, said Peter, Father Christmas won't bring you any presents if you're bad. Henry sprang at Peter. He was a grizzly bear guzzling a juicy morsel. Oh, Peter. Henry pinched me. Henry, go to your room, said Mom. Bye, screamed Henry, stomping up and slamming the door. Why did he get stuck with the world's meanest and most horrible parents? They certainly didn't reserve any presents. Chapter 5 Presents? Why couldn't he just get them? Why did he have to give them? Giving other people presents was such a waste of his hard-earned money. Every time he gave a present, it meant something he could buy for himself. Goodbye chocolate, goodbye comics, goodbye the school shooter. And then if you got anything good, it was so horrible having to give it away. He practically cried having to give Rob the Terminator Gladiator poster for his birthday. In the Mutant Max lunchbox, Mom had made him give Cassim, still made him glass his tea, whatever he saw, Cassim with it. Now he was stuck on Christmas Eve with no money and no presents to get anyone, deserving or not. And then Henry had a wonderful, spectacular idea. It's so wonderful and so spectacular. Then he couldn't believe he hadn't thought of it before. Who said he had to buy presents? Did the mom and dad always say what the thought that counted? And oh boy, was he thinking. Except his granny was sure to love a Mutant Max comic after who wouldn't. Then, when she finished enjoying it, he could borrow it back. Honey, imagine under his bed and found a recent copy. In fact, it would be a shame if Grandpa got genius a Granny's great present. Safer to give than each one, thought Henry. Dip him dig into his pile to find one with the biggest torn page. Now let's see, Mom and Dad. He could draw the lovely picture. Nah, that would take too long. Even better, he could write down a poem. Henry sat down at his desk, grabbed a pencil and wrote, Dear old battle, dear Dad, don't be sad, be glad, because you had a very Merry Christmas. Love from your lad, Henry. Not bad, thought Henry, not bad, and so cheap. Now one from dear old written Mom, don't be gum. 'Cause you got a lot thumb, and an even bigger thumb. Ho ho ho, ho ro ro rum. Love your son, Henry. Wow, it was hard finding so many words to write with Mom, but he'd done it, and the poem was nice and Christmassy with the ho ho ho. Son didn't write would help me. Mom would notice because she'd be so thrilled with the next of the poem. When she was famous, she'd be proud to show up the poem her son had written specially for her. Now Polly, she was always squeaking and squealing about dirt and dust. Maybe a lovely kitchen sponge, or rag she could use to mop up after Bella, or a bucket to put over Pimply Paul's head. Wait, what about some soap? Henry nipped into the bathroom. Yes, there was a tempting bar of blue soap going to waste in the soap dish by the bathtub. True, it was being used once or twice, but the bit of smoothing with his fingers would sort that out. Polly and Paul would share this present. It was such a good one. Whistling, Henry wrapped up the soap in sparkling reindeer paper. He was genius. Why hadn't he ever done this before? September, a lovely rag from under the sink would be perfect as a gag for Bella. That just left Peter and all his present problems would be over. A piece of chewing gum, only one careful owner. A college of sweet wrappers which spell a worm. The unused comb Peter had given him last Christmas. Aha! Peter loved bunnies. What better present than a picture of a bunny? It was the work of a few moments for Henry to draw a bunny and slash a blue lines across it to color it in. Then he signed his name in big letters at the bottom, Henry. Maybe he could be a famous artist and not a poet when he grew up, he thought, admiring his handiwork. Henry had just heard that artists got paid loads of cash just for stacking a few bricks or hurling paint as a right cabas. Being an artist sounded like a great job, since it left so much time for playing computer games. Holy Henry dumped his presents beneath the Christmas tree and sighed happily. This was one Christmas where he was sure to get a lot more than he gave. Whoopee! Who could ask for anything more? 안녕.